We're here today with Sean to finish off the issuing of the Freedom Trial Diagnostic Device by using the eccovision equipment. And this pharyngometer is measuring the acoustic cross-sectional volume of the patient's airway. And today we're going to use this device with your trial diagnostic device in your mouth to get an idea of what this is doing to your airway and whether it's improving it or not. So we start with baseline, you breathing, then we do a thing called a collapse test, which is a modified Muller maneuver where you breathe out all your air and it causes an inspiratory collapse of the airway. And then we'll put the device in, do another baseline test where you're just breathing in a normal fashion, and then we'll do a collapse test with the device in, and then we can overlay and monitor and measure those improvements or otherwise. And if there's little or no improvement, then we can adjust. And often there's several positions that we'll use through this process. I usually allow about half an hour for this process to happen, and then I come to a position that is what we call a sweet spot, and then you'll be trialling this device for 2 weeks, and then we do some follow-up screening. So today is acoustic. We just hold this up like that, just get a seal around that with your mouth, and you just hold that for me. And I'll just start it. You'll hear a clicking noise and then a beep. And now I just want you to just breathe normally for me. Okay, I'm going to switch to the second screen. This time I want you to take a big deep breath in, and without noise I want you to let the air out slowly. You don't have to rush it, but I want you to empty all your air out, and then when you're finished emptying all the air out of your lungs, just twiddle your fingers like that with your left hand. So just breathing normally. Now take a big breath in for me, and slowly let it out. That's very good. There you go, keep going. Nothing left. All right. Okay, you can let go of that. I'm going to have a look at this differentiation in your collapse. Now, some research done in 2004 by, among others, Brendan Yee and Ron Grunstein. It was presented at the Korean Sleep Society meeting, showed that the best way to use acoustic pharyngometry was laying on your back, because it's the best test of the equipment, and it does actually show evidence of improvement or otherwise of the oropharyngeal junction where the base of the tongue is. So I think it's pretty good backup for what I'm doing today, and there's plenty of other research on this protocol from around the world. So you can see here when we look at the screen that there's a loss of airway and collapse, which you'd expect. It has to be under 100%. So at this point, you know, you lose a great deal of your airway when I push you. Okay, so now we're going to put the device in. Get yourself comfortable with that. Just bring your low jaw forward. There you go. And just lay on your back. And I'm just going to start the device. All right, and we'll go to the next screen, and you do the same thing you did last time. Just twiddle your fingers when you're ready. Okay, so basically there's an 18% improvement.
Oh, right,
just already. Yeah. I mean, when you make the device, it's widely known in the community that if you reposition somebody's jaw, you potentially going to get an improvement in their airway. The problem that exists in the community of dentists, I'm talking about, doing this from an average perspective, is that they have no idea whether they're going to get an improvement or less of an improvement, or even a reverse, so an increase in the problem. So this gives me the peace of mind and the comfort, and the patient the peace of mind and the comfort, to show you that we've got an 18.6% improvement across the board, and this is under collapse conditions. This isn't you just breathing normally at night, and a 4% improvement at the minimum volume, which is a lot on a minimum volume level. But also when I look at the difference between the two breathing features of the device, they're nigh on 100%, which means, you know, this is a fairly comfortable position for you. I mean, can you confirm this is a comfortable position?
Fine.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just it barely feels like there's a bit of a difference. It is supporting your throat. Okay. Now we can go a bit harder with this, and I'm about to show you, what we do with the repositioning gauges. But so these are the airway metrics gauges that I use. Because I've zeroed in, I know that we've definitely got improvement. Even as the device was constructed, we've got improvement. Now I can confidently go towards what I already knew when I made this device. So I had you positioned about there. So when I put this in here like this, we'll see how that feels in your mouth. I'll confirm that. And I just want you to breathe normally for me again. I'm going to use the third screen to redo this measurement. So you're breathing normally. All right, and now if you just want to take that breath in, and slowly let the air out. I'm just looking at your chest falling. That's about it. I think I can hear that Doppler going. Okay, we'll just have a look at this together. Now under collapse, with another couple of extra millimeters of vertical in this device, you've got a 68% improvement.
Oh wow.
You can see here 163.8, sorry, 63.8, not 68. 63.8, because it's always 100 plus 63.8. And the minimum is almost on par, it's 98.6, which you've got to give it a little bit of leeway when you've got a moving airway under collapse conditions. And we've also got, again, we've got a same general improvement, but we've got actually a 15.9% improvement on the minimum. So and where that is, because we can see on this screen here, which you'll be able to see in the video, that it's at the base of tongue. We've increased the pharyngeal volume at the base of tongue. So this is a good result, and I'm going to sit with that. The next step we do is sitting up. Now just open a little bit. Now bite together for me. That's it there. Yeah. The material's soft enough to cope with compressing it for the sake of using these jigs with the little notches in them. Can you feel that notching on your teeth? Yeah. Okay, so you just stay there like that. This is the easiest way for me to record this bite record so that I can assess it and change the jigs over. So lips together for me, just like that. Little bit of bite registration material, just not just at the front, but going around to the sides so that I've got some stability in the positioning of the bite. We'll let that set. It's a very fast setting material. Don't open your mouth. I just want to have a look at this like here. So it's almost set, you can see. This is a very fast material indeed. And just open up for me. If you can see the change in the vertical, which has given the improvement, this 63% improvement across the board in breathing and collapse, it's very critical that when we're taking a bite record for an oral device, and especially a trial diagnostic oral device, that we have the ability to be able to adjust it in the vertical and the horizontal from a minimum to a comfortable end result that feels comfortable in the patient's mouth. And if you can also see that these these blades which control the anterior-posterior relationship of the lower jaw are sitting nice and firmly in their respective spots, evenly and nicely. And so I don't need to change the lower insert. That's what that means, because that insert is butting up against there and it's doing its job. Yeah. I do need to change the upper insert. So if you look at this this gap here, you'd estimate that to be 3-4 millimeters.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Now these are the inserts that come with the trial diagnostic device. They're usually in a selection packet. They're not laid out like this, but for the sake of explanation, we've got this sitting here. And as I said before, we've got a potential gap of between 3 and 4 millimeters. Now I'm going to be conservative and I'm going to go on the 3 side rather than the 4 side. So we take the upper member off the arrangement. We take the inserts out that were the starting inserts. They're zeros, as you might see, and we place the chosen insert. In this case, it's a number 3. Because it was a 3 to 4 millimeter gap in between the arches. We place those into the device, and when I remove the byte registration from the device, we can now pop this together, and you can see there's now a vertical change in the device. And that gives us the extra vertical we need. This is the anterior-posterior positioning of the lower jaw. So the lower jaw is further forward, lower jaw is further back. This didn't need to be changed. The vertical, which can raise up and down, this did need to be changed. Now the patient's going to have a trial for 2 weeks. Place the device back in the patient now. Bring together, push together, and that just feels comfortable. Yeah, looks like you've got, like physiologically speaking, the ease of lip seal that Sean can get with the device in his mouth means that we're going to have more rather than less success with you breathing through your nose, which is very important. You need to breathe through your nose and not your mouth. And of course, as you know, we'll be wearing a shield in front of this, which will encourage tongue posture.